Hi, my name is Sarah LaFramboise. I am a student of entomology and plant pathology at Oklahoma State University. Today I'm in my family's backyard garden and I want to show you something. I'm over here in our garden with our kale. Now if you look at these leaves, it looks like something's been eating them up. If you flip these leaves over and you look carefully enough, you can see tiny little bugs. Now these bugs are known as aphids. Aphids are a pest and can destroy lots and lots of crops. Now I'm over here and I'm with our broccoli and our cauliflower. Now if you look over here, these also look like they're being eaten by something. Take a closer look, and that's a caterpillar. As you can see, this caterpillar is just eating up our broccoli. Who knew that something so small could cause so much damage? This is my family's first year with a garden, and so we're kind of learning as we go. But luckily there's an entomologist in the family, and I've got a couple cool little creatures that can help us out, and today I'm going to teach you about them. So now I'm sitting here at my desk, and I've ordered online some parasitoid wasps as well as some ladybugs. The ladybugs you can release in your garden and they're going to eat the aphids whole. However, parasitoid wasps are what I really want to talk to you about today. Today we're going to talk about parasites versus parasitoids. Let's watch it again so you can really see what I'm talking about. That is not a bug giving live birth. That is a wasp emerging from its host now that it's an adult. The host is the animal or organism in which the pest lives on or in. A common example is household pets like dogs or cats. A parasite is an organism that lives on or in another animal or organism known as the host. The parasite feeds on nutrients from the host, such as blood. A parasitoid is an insect that lays its egg inside of another organism. Once that egg has matured into a pupa or larva, it will push its way out of the host, thus killing the animal that it was laid in. So a couple of common parasites to dogs or cats would be things like fleas or ticks. Now there's other kinds, maybe some that you're a little more familiar with, such as worms. Lots of worms infect dogs, like tapeworms, or one that's really common called heartworms. And of course you can protect your dogs from those kinds of things, or even just remove ticks from your dog when you see them. So now I've got a harder question. Can you name a couple of parasitoids? Chances are you're a little more unfamiliar with parasitoids than parasites. The most common parasitoid is a wasp. There are plenty of parasitoid wasps that we can use in our gardens or even around our house, well, outside of our house. There's a parasitoid wasp that even lays its eggs inside of maggots. So it's a little helpful if you got a lot of flies around your place. Now let's talk about parasites. The example up here is ticks. Maybe you've had them before, and if you have, you know how unpleasant it is to have even one tick on your body. So adult females are going to lay their eggs off of a host. Common places are moist leaf litter. The eggs are then going to grow up into larvals and nymphs. So once these ticks have legs and they learn how to use them, they're going to attach to small mammals and birds, and then they're going to drop off. So when they drop off, they're going to molt their exoskeleton. Then as an adult, they're going to go back to a larger host. This could be dogs, humans, even deer. So now that they're full on human or dog or deer blood, they are going to drop off and lay their eggs, and then the cycle starts all over again with a new generation. Ticks are known to transmit a lot of diseases, so keep an eye out for them when you're outside and take precautions such as spraying yourself with bug spray. This is a wonderful example of the life cycle of a parasitoid wasp. Once a female has mated, she will lay her eggs inside of a caterpillar, an aphid, whichever host she chooses. Next, the egg is going to hatch inside the host. Once the egg hatches, the larva is going to feed on the host, most likely hemolymph, which is the insect equivalent of blood. The larva is then going to keep growing. It's going to form a pupa, just like caterpillars do. Finally, the wasp is going to mature into an adult, leave the dead host, and then live its life as an adult. The female wasp is going to lay her eggs inside of this caterpillar. Then these eggs are going to grow inside of the caterpillar, and the caterpillar, for the most part, won't know. Then the larvae are going to leave the host, killing it. It is just like something out of a scary movie, right? So thinking back to the parasite or the parasitoid and their relationship with the host, would this be an example of mutualism, antagonism, or commensalism? If you guessed antagonism, then you'd be correct. Mutualism is a relationship between two organisms where both of the organisms are benefited. Antagonism is a negative relationship between two organisms. One is being benefited and one is being harmed. Usually, the one being harmed dies. Commensalism is a relationship where one is benefited while the other one doesn't really know because it's not being harmed. Before I leave you, I'd like to recap a couple things from the video. The very first word we defined today was host. The host is the animal that is being negatively impacted. So examples are you, me, dogs, cats, aphids, or caterpillars. Parasites, if you'll remember, don't end up killing their host in the end. Very common examples of parasites are ticks, fleas, worms that'll leave your system in the end of their life cycle. The most interesting, in my opinion, word that we defined today was parasitoid. A parasitoid is an insect that lays its eggs inside of a host, and then, when those eggs mature, kills the host. What is really important with this parasite versus parasitoid is that parasitoids lay their eggs inside of the host and then kill it as they mature. And I just introduced you to this word. Mutualism is a beneficial relationship between two organisms. Then antagonism is that negative relationship between two organisms. One of the organisms is being harmed while the other one is benefiting from it. Finally, we're at commensalism. That is when one organism is benefiting and the other one is not being benefited or harmed at all. Thank you for letting me talk to you about parasites and parasitoids today. I hope you had fun and learned something new. Now I just get to sit here and wait for the mailman to deliver my parasitoid wasps. I really hope he's not scared of bugs. I really tried to keep this video PG, so I want to just include this picture. If you know what I mean by it, then you know what I mean by it.